I grew up without my mother till I was a year old, 2 years old. And we kind of just ended up everywhere. We never stayed in one place. I never stayed in one school either. We used to sleep in the church, and like I grew up around domestic abuse. I was a truant kid, truancy. I dealt with a lot of truancy, a lot of school fights. I did end up going to juvenile detention. I think that was the lowest I've been. I bottled everything up, so I was full of just anger, hatred. I did have a lot of regret. All the things that I've done and what got me here, I guess, because I knew I wasn't just hurting myself either. I was hurting my family. I was hurting my siblings.
My name is Denise Dallas. I'm the group home supervisor for New Trails Group Home in Onamia, Minnesota. I started working with homeless people in New York City and really loved that. Then started working with women and children that were homeless. What they really needed was somebody to hear them, see them, support them. And so that really was a transfer over to what I do now, to what Nexus does, is it gives these kids a place to find somebody to hear them, see them, support them, and help them in their journey. You know, it's really important, that I have people who love me, support me, and help me through when days are bad. And that's what our kids need, is they need an opportunity to have somebody help them through.
My parole officer kind of just let me know, you got accepted into this placement. It is up further, up to Nexus and Mille Lacs. I was very shut off. I was very pessimistic. I felt like at the time I was so used to juvie that I was asking to go back. So I would self-sabotage and run away, do all these things to get back into juvie, because that's what I was used to.
Offering hope is everything for our kids. Giving them the opportunity to correct behavior by listening, by giving them that sense of hope that there is a different way, sitting down and listening to find out the why behind the behavior. Behaviors don't just happen just because. There is a reason why. So if you want that behavior to change, we need to figure out why. So for Juan, the residential program that he came from at Mille Lacs, they did the hard work with Juan and helping him get through that anger.
They have a therapist there, Andrew. I clicked with him right away, and he caught me on my BS. It was like, even though I hated it, at the same time it felt nice. It's like, oh, somebody who actually understands me. That's how my trust started off. It was first with him. After a year and a half in Mille Lacs, I went to New Trails Group Home. That's where I met Denise.
When Juan first came into the group home, he was a determined and goal-oriented, hard-working young man, which he still is. But the wonderful thing that I see that he learned and is growing in his heart is he still takes time to do fun things. He also benefited so much from the Vikings and the Vikings dollars, but also other things that Juan would never ask for, but wanted and tried to figure out, like contacts, like being able to get a tux for prom. And he went to prom, he got nominated for prom king, and he did these things. And it was so wonderful to see the joy in him of being a kid, but also being able to balance having a job and saving money. These are not things that we could have done without these types of dollars.
I did have plans to becoming a social worker until I fell in love with cooking. I do want to become a chef one day. That's my dream goal, is to actually become a chef. I do feel a lot more hopeful because of Nexus. I feel like they made me realize that I do have a purpose in life. That life is really like amazing. You know, there's a lot of beautiful things in life.